children to be educated. Who would have thought that nearly 50 years after the Voting Rights Act, that we would still be fighting and marching for the right to vote? HB 56 and voter suppression laws will undo decades of civil rights work and harken back to a dark time in history that does not bear repeat. The silver lining in this may be the unity we find among African Americans, Latinos, and other communities of color. And while our communities may have had different journeys, we are now facing many of the same struggles. The Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. knew the importance of unity. In the 1960s, at the height of Cesar Chavez's fast, to bring attention to the plight of farm workers, Dr. King sent him a telegram that read, "Our separate struggles are really one, a struggle for freedom, dignity, and humanity." And that's still true today. We are so grateful for the support we have received from the African American elected officials, clergy, and community leaders. They have made a real difference and given hope to a community under siege. But ultimately, our community is responsible for our own destiny. We need to define ourselves. We have the tools. We have the resources. We have the will to succeed. We are the largest and fastest growing consumer market in the country. Latinos hold over $1 trillion in spending power. That's $1 trillion. Imagine that clout represents. Well, we don't have to imagine. We've seen it happen. When Arizona passed the now infamous profiling law, SB 1070, Nclr and other organizations led the call for a national boycott. Boycotts aren't easy, and frankly, we don't do them that often. But this time we did. At a time when their economy could ill afford an adverse economic event, Arizona lost millions and gave itself a black eye. After a year of public and economic pressure, good people in the community came to their senses. Business leaders, church leaders, community organizers, Republicans and Democrats worked together to push back, and we ultimately recalled the bill's chief architect, Senate President Russell Pierce. That's what economic clout can do. We can turn this around. Economic clout works. Political clout works too. According to the new census, you know the numbers, 1 out of every 4 American citizens under the age of 18 is Latino. Those numbers speak for themselves. We are America's future. Yet, how that future unfolds, how quickly it is realized, is in large part up to us. I don't know about you, but I don't want to wait 2 generations for that future. I don't want to wait for the inevitable demographic tide to bring our community to shore. I want to embrace that future now. We need to accelerate the process and galvanize our community to fully engage in its civic potential. We need to naturalize, register, mobilize, run for office, and vote at every level of community life. That's why Nclr has become one of the largest Latino voter registration organizations in the country. We have to step up now. Our plan is to register and educate voters, develop grassroots leaders, and get voters to the polls this November. And we will ensure that our community is engaged every day, not just on election day. By growing the Latino vote and increasing our political influence, not only can we change public policy affecting our community, we can determine our own destiny. Our community is ready. and Sebastian, who originally came from Mexico to work in a poultry plant in a small town called Albertville in Alabama. When I learned that they had gotten up before dawn and driven 3 hours to be at the event, I thanked them for coming. And I asked her, "Why are you here?" Ana looked at me, and without hesitation, she said, "Es nuestra responsabilidad." It is our responsibility.
I know.
They did not want or expect gratitude. They recognized that it was their responsibility to stand up for our community and for themselves. How can we do less? Latinos have counted too long on others to be our champions. We need to be our own champions. Like Ana and Sebastian, we need to stand up for ourselves. We are a community of 50 million people, and it is long past time we started acting like it. Es nuestra responsabilidad. So tomorrow, you, me, we will march again. We will march to the capital of this United States, and we will carry with us not only an agenda of important issue, we will carry with us the dreams and hopes of everyone who you know who cannot be here, who believe that that American dream is for everyone. We are fighting tomorrow. Tomorrow you are the gatekeepers of the American dream, and we will march. And we will march again in November, because the most important march that we can make will be our march to the polls when we go to vote and let our voices be heard. We will be our own advocates.